why don't you go ahead and roll up a conceal, and go ahead and bring in your dice for acting and support.
There we go.
And because you've already made eye contact,
I've got.
Nice.
what you froze up? Sorry, what was that?
I've got a 3 in act, so that should be some help.
That's pretty good. So, all right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and give you another 2 black dice difficulty because Caroline already kind of locked eye with you. Yeah. So go for it. Let's see what you get.
All right. So wits plus conceal is 3. Act adds another 3. 3 and 2 black dice, right?
Correct.
Gotcha. All right.
Nice.
Not bad.
Not bad. Okay.
Oh, so that's 6 and 1s are both successes, right?
Correct.
Right.
So you got 2.
So that's 2 successes.
No black die failures, so you're good to go. All right. So Miss Russell,
Yes.
let's take a look at
Would
your
this be
skill sheet here.
Wits to understand what she's doing, or what
Yeah.
exactly do I do?
Well, let me take a look at your character sheet here super quick.
Okay.
Okay, so not dancing. Let's see. Now you have
I'd imagine-
conceal as well. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, if she's just trying to interpret, I imagine either perception or maybe because it's like a, I don't know, would it be some kind of code at this point? Maybe streetwise.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah. Let's go with streetwise. Actually, it wouldn't matter perception or streetwise because I want you to use wits with it instead of present.
So I'm gonna look in here. Where is my
So I
perception?
think either one is because you got a 1 in perception, a 1 in streetwise. So
Yes.
I don't think it'll matter.
Okay, so if I roll for perception, how can I change or add the wits to it?
It is actually if you just grab your character and do grab your character token and then do a skill test. You should have that option in there.
Rather than
Yeah, that way you can just plug in the dice from scratch.
Okay, let's see here. Skill. Okay, so that's a total of 4 dice, and then did you say black dice or
I'm just going to give you a 1 black die penalty on this one, just simply because Carolyn's focusing more on Monsieur Joyeux right now.
Skill attribute 1. Okay.
Okay, 1 success there. Oh, okay.
So it negates it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay,
So
I have no idea what she's saying.
So what are you focusing on, like, when that happens? So what does that play out as?
Well, so does the negation mean that I don't see her at all, or that I just don't understand what he's trying to say?
It's more of that. It's more you're seeing her describe something or whatever. So now it's kind of up to you to interpret. What is she doing?
I'm watching Monsieur Joyeux
right.
as he is kind of gesturing and maybe tilting his head, and I can't quite figure out if he's trying to communicate something to me or if he's trying to communicate something to someone behind me. So I'm looking around like, are you talking to me? Like, what's going on
Whether or
here?
not he's having a seizure.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there like a twitch, a flea or something?
Lieutenant Blackwell's like, what? Me? No.
You need that. Yeah. So she's just kind of confused and trying very hard to figure out what the it's French accented charades that she cannot understand.
French accented charades.
Nice.
So she's kind of clueless about this whole thing. She clearly sees that Monsieur Joyeux is trying to convey some information, but she can't really determine if it's for her or what the heck is going on.
Okay, well, okay. So luckily enough, though, Caroline isn't noticing you know what Monsieur Joyeux is trying to do. But she
hopefully Carolyn doesn't notice Monsieur Joyeux mumbling one of the few things in French she actually knows under his breath, because it's quite vile.
Now put in the man.
I love the fact that the only French he actually knows is cursing.
Yes, basically.
Not really surprising.
So nice. So nice. Okay, so she basically says that the what were we doing? Oh yeah, the professor's address. So she basically like she says I don't have it's an implement to write with, but I can provide you with an address it's in Holborn. Holborn. And so that's it's an area of London. Obviously, it's off of one of the popular things in Holborn is Fleet Street. That's where a lot of the newspapers and other journalists and other manner of industries, or not industry, but kind of like your accounting and sometimes lawyers are there, that kind of thing. That's that kind of business area. So she provides an address for him. I guess it's basically a small office where a couple of professors share an office there. And so she says he has a classroom there that on occasion the children will go to with other children in the neighborhood. It is where they will conduct experiments. They have mechanical things that they use there. It's quite interesting, but I don't know much about it. I normally have to wait outside.
Okay.
Will that be all? And she's pretty nervous right now. Like and to be frank, when Dove kind of loomed in on her, or not, I don't want to say loom, but when you got a giant bear coming in at you, that's kind of the reaction.
And he does kind of loom.
Yeah. No offense, doctor. No offense, doctor. He overbeared. Sorry, it stops. GM is fired. GM is
terrible.
Terrible.
Hey.
But yeah, she just kind of like you could see, and I guess Lieutenant Blackwell, you'd probably notice this pretty quick. You could see a bead of sweat just kind of like is running down her temple right now.
Okay.
That's sounding pretty grisly.
Hey-o.
So I think I would ask her if everything was all right. Seeing that she's a little unsettled, I would just say, "Are you okay? Is everything all right?"
Yes, my lord. Yes. I just, and she like glances over at the around the room a little bit, and then she kind of glances back over at the tray with all of the dishes on it or the glasses, and she's like, I'm fine. Yes.
Okay.
Does anybody have any more questions, or are we ready to dismiss
perhaps
her?
we should allow her to continue about her work.
Yeah. Okay. So then we'll just say, well, thank you for your assistance, and you're free to carry on with your duties.
And she crosses her ankles and bobs a curtsy and stands stands straight and just, thank you very much, my lord. And she turns and she grabs the trays, and you can hear him kind of like the glass rattling a little bit as she lifts it up. And
as she's leaving, I just kind of, one last thing, where is the children's room?
Let's see here. What is that? What's this? I will go ahead and I will roll something here.
Okay.
Hers is low. Okay.
Love how it's all Columbo now. Oh, one last thing.
One last Russian Columbo. Let me say.
I am to be asking one last thing, if I could. All right, let's see here. Here we go.
I am absent-minded. I forget things.
All right, so that is so that would be a 3, a 6, and a 2. Okay. All right. So when you ask, like, can there? It's just one more question. She very nearly drops the tray, and starts with a squeak. Pardon me. What? Yes. She kind of slowly turns around. It's like that kind of thing where it's just like, yes.
I'm curious where the children's room is.
Well, I would need to check with Mrs. Torbo and my lady, of course, to allow you. I could show you, but I would need to ask permission, I think. I mean, I do know, and the glasses are rattling in her hand, and I do know that you have permission. But
at this point, I'm going to actually reach out and take the trays from her and put it on whatever they would normally, because normally in that kind of a household there would be like some small piece of furniture where they would put those.
Yeah, you could probably put it back on the table that she was using.
So I'll put it back on, and I said, Mrs. Torbo, we met her. She's a fine woman. But I will say again that we are here on invitation of your mistress. We are here to help.
Dr. Loom, you're a medical doctor, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Among the 5 that are in this room right now, and even Dove, who's looking right at her, you are the first to notice as he lifts the tray away and he turns away and then starts talking again. You're the first to notice her eyes flutter up in her head as she passes out. And you hear this light thump on the ground as she passes out. So she's now unconscious at your feet.
Well done, Dov. Well done.
I'm gonna help her like to a chair, but then I'm like, then kind of quietly to the rest of them, I'm gonna be like, now I know I can be intimidating, but normally I don't get this from innocent people.
So
I think she knows something. I don't know what that could be, but I think she knows something she's not telling us.
Dr. Loom will go over and check her vitals and get her in some sort of recovery position where she won't choke on her own tongue or anything.
I guess if you have to prevent it.
Something she might know if it's not the children.
So you lay her on the couch, I guess. Go ahead. Sorry, Dove.
I was just going to say, yes, I do not know if she is necessarily tied to this, but she knows something, and that intrigues me.
So you guys help her. So who's helping? I think Dr. Loom, you're helping, and Dove, you're kind of helping her get to the couch.
I'm physically putting her on the couch, but that's pretty much the extent of my expertise.
So Dr. Loom, you're checking her vitals.
He's checking his vitals, and he's also going to look for any signs of injuries or anything that might be unusual on her person, and say, Miss Russell, will you please come stand by this examination? Don't want any accusations of impropriety.
Of course, my good sir.
So go ahead and give me a medicine roll. Medicine roll. That sounds like some kind of weird sushi or something like that. But
well, either that or it sounds like Native American, rattles and things here.
Oh, that's right. So Dr. Loom, if you will, sir.
Wits plus medicine.
I believe that is the connection, good sir.
And any black dice present?
No. This one's pretty. You noticed it kind of offhand, but yeah. Wow. So 2 6s. Man, so you rolled 1 6 and had another reroll. Nice. I got you another 6. All right. So yeah, it's pretty obvious that she's under stress. Her pulse is fine. It's not thready, but you can definitely tell that because of the like the redness of her ears, the flush in her cheeks, that sort of thing. Even though she's pale everywhere else, there's a flush to her cheeks right now that indicates there's a high level of stress. So that's pretty obvious at this point. So so you're doing that, Monsieur Joyeux, Lieutenant?
There's no wounds or bruises or...
Sorry, you did ask that question. Yes. Or I mean, no. There's no obvious wounds other than maybe a slight bruise on her wrist where she fell. That's about it. Nothing bad.
Relay that information to the rest.
Okay. Lieutenant Blackwell, Monsieur Joyeux, Dove, what are you guys doing while this is happening?
Now that she's not staring, I'm going to poke around that mantelpiece.
Okay, taking advantage. All right, good. Lieutenant Blackwell?
I'm just kind of hanging back right now, waiting for the lady of the house to return.
Okay, and then Dove?
Here's what I'll do. I'll basically be by the doorway to make sure that while they're all doing their thing, we're not that the investigators are not interrupted by somebody walking in. I have a funny feeling Mrs. Torbo would not sit well not knowing what's going on in the room we're in.
Yeah.
Good assumption. So are you standing inside or outside the room?
I'm gonna go outside.
Okay.
Just to be in the hallway, just and basically let them know. Like I'll like tap on the door twice if somebody's coming that looks like they're gonna come in.
Very cool.
So if we have some downtime here, I would definitely go over to Monsieur Joyeux and say, "What the heck were you trying to say? What was going on there?"
That's right.
Not my fault if you don't understand. But never mind. Look at this. You see how everything is symmetrical.
Yes.
But then there's this little creature right here who's not treated very well.
Yes.
And it has no twin on the other side.
This does look suspicious. I wonder if there was a pair to it. We should definitely ask someone, perhaps we could ask the maid who cleans this room, whoever that happens to be.
My suspicion is that it would be Catherine. She did seem awful.
Well, we can definitely ask.
So you guys,
whoever.
So you guys are looking at the little jade statue, the little kind of half-foot tall one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I recall looking at your character sheet, Miss Russell, and I believe you have a skill that's up to the task.
Okay.
You've used it earlier this evening.
Oh, okay. Would that be a perception one? Or would that be a
art?
What did I do earlier? Art. Thank you.
Art skill.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad you guys remember that. I forgot what I did. All right, let me find it. Let's see here. La la la.
Dove has ad hoc repair. I can fix it.
I don't know that you can fix the jade, but why not?
Well,
On the
sure
contrary,
the house
ladies.
would appreciate it, but
I have green flavored spearmint gum that will go perfectly on it.
I now have this image of like Dove with a giant hard hat going, "Can we fix it?"
Yes, we can. Oh gosh, I can't do anything tonight. My rolls are just horrible.
It's okay. It's okay.
But I could also take a look at it to see if it were a fakery of any sort. If it were, not an actual item.
Your GM is pleased.
Okay, so I'm going to do that too, just in case.
All right.
Oh well, that's
nice.
Bully. All right, so you're taking a look at it, and you're trying to look at it from an artistic standpoint. You're looking at it's I don't know, this the material is weird. It's not quite marble. It might be kind of a mixture of some other kind of stone that's in here, not trying to look like marble. I'm sorry, jade.
Jade, yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah, it's trying to look like jade or something. And then you look at you're let me switch gears here. Let me, take a look at it from the standpoint of being a forgery of some kind. And it's not quite a forgery more than it is a replica.
Okay, so not meant to pass off as something necessarily,
right.
But okay.
Right.
All right,
and
so
there's and kind of like what I told Monsieur Joyeux is there's there's scratches, there's scuffs, one of the ears broken off, that kind of thing. It's a coiled green dragon, so it's kind of typical of your Eastern dragons that have that more serpentine type feel. It has like the long whiskers and stuff that are kind of painted back close to the face so that it's not separate pieces. But yeah, one of the flapping ears has been broken off, and it's probably a replica of some kind.
Okay. So to the rest of the group, this item is perhaps not as valuable as it seems at first of an item that would be found in Hong Kong or China. But still, it does appear that there would have been possibly a second item matching pair, as Monsieur Joyeux has pointed out.
So the sort of trinket that may be passed off to tourists, say ones that were in Hong Kong 2 weeks ago.
Well, if it was 2 weeks ago, that would not necessarily account for it being so damaged unless it was purchased in such a state.
Well, we've seen their taste so far, and I don't think they'd buy something this.
So I think perhaps it was here longer than that. But we definitely should discuss with one of the servants who cleans the room to determine if there was more than one here or how long this has been here.
So what are you doing, Lieutenant Blackwell, while you're hearing this?
I'm just taking it in. There's not much I can do at this point. It sounds like all the bases are covered. Yeah, I don't think there's much I can help out with right here.
Okay. Take a look at your stuff. Hang on one sec. Let's see. You got your high society. You got your high society. You've got. Hey, Mike. Refresh me again on bull. Like bull with a present.
Bull is lying.
Lying, right? Okay.
It is straight up lying.
Okay. Cool. Sorry, that totally not pertinent to what I was looking for. I just saw it and I was thinking, what is that again? That's what I thought it was. All right. So,
as in, you are full of it.
That's right. Anybody have an empathy skill?
Was that an actual skill?
It's a common skill.
It's a common skill. So
technically, all of us could, but no, I don't have any naturally.
No, yeah.
I don't have any points in it now.
Yeah, I don't have any points in it either, but
just curious about that. Okay.
Dr. Loom has no empathy.
Nothing surprises me about that.
Okay, so all right, then we'll kind of lay it there. Monsieur Joyeux, you're still at the mantelpiece, right? So as you were kind of looking at the mantelpiece, one thing that you're picking up now that you're looking at the symmetry of the place is that the mantelpiece where the jade little jade thing or whatever it is, what are we calling it, a replica?
Jade dragon.
Or jade dragon replica or whatever. It looks like it's been on this side of the mantelpiece, but on the other side of the mantelpiece, there doesn't look to be anything, like any scuffs or anything. Because you were looking at it from a symmetrical point of view and thinking that maybe there was a complementary piece, but it doesn't look like anything has been on the mantelpiece unless they've just kept it super polished and unmarred. So just something.
In other words, grab the jade dragon.
It's not necessarily a direct translation, but
well, the direct translation would be "stop pondering the missing item."
No. I'll never do that.
Then it seems like not something missing, but something extra. Then
this is when we hold it up over our heads and go da na na na.
You got a thing.
You found a thing. Okay, so on that happy note, Dove hears the sound of women's voices and the distinct voice of Mr. Straub and the distinct voice of Mrs. Torbo, and coming from upstairs.
Heading our way.
As they start walking, and I do not understand why this is necessary, milady. Surely we should be contacting the authorities about these things. And Mr. Straub responds, "No, this." Lady Mrs. Doyle knows what she's doing.
As they're talking, I give my quick tap just to let them know, hey, stop doing anything shady. They're coming.
So
Meanwhile, Meanwhile, I'm just holding this thing in my hand.
And quickly throw it out the window, like break the glass. Like, all right, good. It's secured.
Don't you have a conceal? Conceal quickly, woman.
I've got conceal. I can stuff it in my jacket.
Do it.
She's
undercoat,
unconscious
yeah.
on the couch, and you're standing over her with a large blunt object.
Well, the doctor's right there.
I would recommend concealing or put it back. Those are your options.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we're
It might be important. Let's conceal it.
Yeah.
Listen.
So we're approaching the hour
2
here,
seances
folks. So
down,
let's.
I have to pay.
That's
Just
right.
saying.
I'm just saying. I need to get paid. So why don't you go ahead and roll your conceal, and we're going to go to a quick
All
break, and we'll see what happens on the other side of the break and how this plays out. So we'll be back, folks. Thanks for staying in. It's a little bit of a longer episode, but perhaps on the editing floor we'll do some magic to trim that down. We'll see. Maybe break it in half. Who knows? We'll be right back, guys. Thanks for tuning in.